يَوْمَ تَجِدُ كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا عَمِلَتْ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. The day on which every single person is going to find whatever they did, min khairin, of any good. Such a beautiful phrase. Ma amilat min khairin. He didn't say alladhi amilat. Yawma tajidu kullu nafsin alladhi amilat. He said ma amilat. The difference between alladhi and ma is alladhi is known. Ma could be unknown. What that implies is nobody remembers you did a good deed. You don't even remember. Allah remembers. You don't even remember what you did. And it's not just some particular good deeds, min khairin, any kind of good deed. You didn't even realize it was a good deed. Somebody walked into the masjid and you just smiled at them like, hey, assalamu alaikum. Just that. And you went and put your dirty shoes on. You didn't even think anything twice of it. On Judgment Day, it shows up and you smiled at a believer. You fulfilled the sunnah of a Prophet ﷺ. You're like, what? I get that too? That's pretty awesome. You walked in, force of habit, you walked into the masjid with your right foot. You walked in with your right foot. I didn't even realize I was doing that. I was like accidental. You get it. Go ahead, take it. Min khairin. And then Allah says, muhdaran. In modern Arabic, ahdara yuhdiru ihdar means to bring something. And haddara yuhaddiru tahdir, to prepare something. It comes from hudur, to be present. Ahdara is to make something present. That's why the brief version of that in English is to bring. To bring. But that's actually, the technical word for bringing in Arabic is ata yu'ti ita. Okay, to bring, to give. But ahdara, it will be presented. It will be made to stand. It will be made to be presented. Muhdar, now those of you that know Sarf, ahdara yuhdiru ihdaran fahuwa muhdir, uhdira yuhdaru ihdaran fahuwa muhdaran. There's muhdaran over here. It will be made to be presented. It's like your deeds are gathered, and now they're made to stand in front of you. Muhdaran. This is all your stuff. So none of it gets away. It's like the implication, some of my deeds might get away. It's all captured and brought in front of you and shown. وَمَا عَمِلَتْ مِنْ سُوءٍ, that's the scary part. And whatever that person had done, from any kind of nasty deed. I translated nasty deed on purpose. I didn't say evil deed, bad deed, sins. I said nasty deed. Su comes from sawa. Sawa means a corpse. Su is called evil deed because a corpse is nasty. It's ugly, it's hideous. You don't want to look at it. You want to cover it up. Right? So, su is an ugly, nasty deed. They'll all be gathered, small and big. يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ. He knows the stealing of the eyes. Like a little glance over there. Caught that too. That'll be brought also. A little bit of a snicker. People say something under their tongue. I really hate your guts. You're so ugly. What's that? What'd you say? Nothing? It was sneezing. Right? I have a funny sneeze this season. You do that kind of stuff, all of it will come out. All of it will come out. I'm not backbiting or anything, but that brother's a real crook. Just because you said, I'm not backbiting or anything, that still means you're backbiting. It doesn't take that away. And then people say, no, it's not a sin because I'm just saying. How is I'm just saying alleviating you from the sin? The angels were writing it down. He said, I'm just saying. Okay, let me erase it. No. He's just saying. Tells the other guy that he's just saying. It doesn't work like that. وَمَا عَمِلَتْ مِنْ سُوءٍ. Whatever you may have done of any kind of ugly deed. تَوَدُّ لَوْ أَنَّ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَهُ أَمَدًا بَعِيدًا. He will want. Waddu is translated as love, yes? As habba yuhibbu, and hub also. Hub is translated as love also. Incidentally, hub comes from hab, which is grain. And the Arabs would love the grain. Why? They're kind of in the desert. This is life, right? So this is life itself. That's why even actually in some Arab countries, bread is called aish, life itself. Okay, bread is life itself. Interestingly, so stuff they love. Now, al-wud actually is to love something more than anything else. Like when you have a kind of love where all you think about is this one thing, this is called wud. When Allah says وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الْوَدُودُ, He's saying He has an intense kind of love for you. Where He's not, it's not kind of a kind of love like out of sight, out of mind kind of love. He's concerned with you extremely. And then he put it in the ism, mubalagha form anyway, wadud. Right? So he's extremely, extremely loving for you. It's not a normal love. It's not muhib. He made it far more powerful than that. Now here, tawaddu, this person standing on Judgment Day, all of his good deeds are brought, all of his bad deeds are brought, they're standing right in front of him. Everything he remembers, everything he doesn't remember. Just because, in court nowadays, these executives get caught, get taken to trial, these Enron scandals and all these scandals that they're after, right? And they get taken to trial. Do you remember telling your executives to do this? What did they say? I don't recall. And I don't recall is the perfect, he doesn't remember, that makes it okay. On Judgment Day, whether you recall or not, it's on record. Here, let me remind you. It's right here. It's all been brought. None of it escaped. Everything got recorded. Right? So at that point, when he sees there's no escape, he's only got one a never-ending wish. What is it? لَوْ أَنَّ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَهُ أَمَدًا بَعِيدًا. If only there was some way that between it, the ha refers to all of his sins, and him. By the way, su itself is not feminine. Su is not feminine. But ma amilat min su'in, some say that all of the su combined, sayyi'at is the ha. Others say no, he himself. He himself. The ha is referring to him because nafs is feminine, and who is referring to the sin. Others say no, he's the person and the other way around. Regardless, which way you go, the thing he wishes for is there should be what between both of them? Amad. We won't even get to ba'id yet. Let's talk about amad. Amad is like masafa in Arabic. Masafa means distance. Except amad is not usually used for space, it's used for time. The longest possible unit of time in Arabic is amad. I'll say that again. The longest possible, you have minute, hour, year, decade, century, eon. If you think of endless unit of time, to them, the Arab that word is amad. If you say, if you say, man, if I was to walk to China, that would take forever? That would take an amad. It would take it literally an amad. Now, we nowadays say forever for it'll take me forever to get to the masjid, that's a 10-minute walk, right? But I mean real forever, an endless distance, and the most far possibly imaginable distance is called amad. That's the amount of time it would take. He says, not just that my sins should be far away from me, they should be at an endless distance. So just to get to them, it should take an endless amount of time. Right? It's time that he wants to make endless. Because his turn's about to come, and he's hoping that the secretary on Judgment Day says, hey, wait, we're going to get his file. They're a little far away. And so it'll take a long time. He doesn't have to deal with the consequences of what he did. And then amad is already endless, and what does Allah add? Ba'idan. Far away. As though amad isn't far enough for him. It's amad itself isn't far enough. He wants that to be ba'id. Subhanallah. وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ. And Allah is warning you, threatening you of Himself. It's like the previous ayah said, don't take the disbelievers as guardians. You better watch out for Allah. And Allah reminds, let me tell you why you better watch out for Allah. And so He ends the ayah the same way again. وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Now do you get why you should watch out for Allah? وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ. And at that point of terrifying us, Allah mentions His ra'fa. It's incredible. He says, no, I'm not all angry. I'm not all scary. وَاللَّهُ رَؤُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. You need to appreciate something about the word Ra'uf. It's one of the most beautiful names of Allah. Beautiful names. Ra'fa is, you see you're watching, a lot of you watch late night television because you can't go to sleep. And you watch those infomercials about, starving children or, people that are don't have clean water supplies or people that are sick and things like that, right? You see people in suffering. When you see people in suffering, your heart wrenches and want to do something to help them. When you have that feeling, you have ra'fa. To see someone in suffering and to have the urge to want to help them is called ra'fa. Allah is ra'uf. What that means is Allah is incredibly compassionate and feels the pain of His subjects, His slaves. He knows what they're going through and He feels mercy for them when He sees them in difficulty. Allah is telling us in Ra'uf, He knows what we're going through. He feels for us. You know how I just got this long email by somebody. I'm supposed to respond. I'll probably talk about just this word. how, he talks about how he fell in love with this girl, but Allah took her away. My interpretation of that is she probably got married or something, but I don't know what he means by that. Allah took her away. And I know it was not exactly halal, but why does Allah why does Allah make us love things and then take them away? It's not fair, etc., etc. Why doesn't He care about us? Blah, 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 blah. Allah is Rauf. Bottom line, Allah knows what you're feeling. Allah knows what you miss, what you want, what you really like to have. He's compassionate. He knows what you're going through. That's captured in Rauf. You know how you say, man, my parents can't relate to me. My friends don't understand me. Nobody can relate. Rauf is Allah saying, I can relate. I feel you. I got you. This is Wallahu Raufun bil ibad. Of all slaves, of the slaves. He's Rauf of them. So yes, on the one hand, there is Judgment Day and this terrifying thing. And on the other hand, when you fall into sin, I know. And I know you're going through challenges, and I know you're going through difficulty at the same time. And so when someone realizes that about Allah, Allah knows what they're going through, and that He's there for them, then a love is generated between them and Allah. This is one of the things, one of the names of Allah that will make you want to love Allah. Is one of those names. There are some names that will make you want to fear Allah. There are some names of Allah that will make you want to respect Allah. There are some of those names that will make you want to appreciate Allah. Appreciate Allah's power. Be in awe of Allah. Then there are some names that just make you want to love Him. Rauf is one of those names. It makes you want to love Allah Azza wa Jal, because He knows what you're going through. And so here, and by the way, just to make this closer to something you can relate to, your closest friends are the ones that can relate to you. That you can talk to in solace, and they know what you're going through, and they'll give you good advice, and you have no inhibitions in talking to them. That lack of inhibition makes you want to love them even more. Marriages get ruined when husband and wife can't talk to each other anymore. When they don't understand each other's feelings anymore. When she says, I talk to you, but I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't think you feel anything. It seems like an abstract thing, you don't feel anything. He says, what do you mean? What do you want me to feel? The AC? What do you want me to feel? I don't understand. Right? But it's actually a very concrete thing. When you have a friend that you can actually talk to, have a real conversation, and they feel what you're going through, and they can help you through it, that in and of itself will make you love them. And when you don't talk to them, you'll feel it. I don't want to go talk to them. Especially in times of trouble. So it makes you want to love Allah. I brought that up because the next ayah takes us straight to love.